Should you buy or pass on Star Wars Battlefront 2? A question that I hope to have answered for you by the end of this video. For those that are new here, what's going on, virgins? My name is Pone, and you need an introduction to the series. Buy or Pass is one that I host to introduce you to a game before it launches. For those curious about a full review, when the game comes out, I will have that for you. But for now, those curious about pre-ordering or buying early on in the life of the game, this video is going to guide you along the lines based on beta experiences, information, just all around feelings. That's what this series is all about. So let's begin. So I'm going to start off doing something a little different today.
Like what? Make a good video?
I want to actually lead with a question, and I know this is kind of weird, but I want you to answer this to yourself. Feel free to leave it in the comments if you want, but be honest. Name one shooter, if not maybe multiple, that you consider fun. One that you actively play right now, that you boot up and play on the regular. One first-person shooter, third-person shooter, any shooter in general that you play that you call fun. Now, I want to be clear that I'm talking about the game itself, not you getting some buddies together. You get the boys together and you can make even the most unbalanced, crappiest of games hilarious and fun experiences. I'm talking booting up a game, playing solo. Name one shooter that you enjoy, that you're not getting bored after 2 or 3 hours, you're not raging at or getting mad at consistently. I'm going to do you a solid and answer from my perspective. The only games that I play right now in the shooter genre are Destiny 2 and Battle Royale games like PUBG and Fortnite. Those are all I play right now. That's what I'm interested in. Both of those games are extremely competitive. Most of the games nowadays are. They're all about progression. They're all about competition and bronze to diamond and the elo and the climb and the sweatiness and the metas. Oh my god! Whatever just happened to games being fun. Games that you can just power up, boot up, put a controller in your hand, and lose yourself for a couple hours. Not having something to aim for. And we're all guilty of this. When I play a game, especially when I'm solo, I need motivation. So I need something to aim for. So generally I play games like Diablo because I want to see RNG in action. I want to aim for min-maxing my gear, my loot. I play games like Smite because I want to push myself as a skill, but I also get extremely competitive and salty, and it gets really crazy. And this is the norm nowadays. Now hopefully you've answered this question, and the whole reason I wanted to do this is because I want to talk about my feelings towards this game. Now, I'm 28 years old. I grew up on fun games. Nothing can kick the feeling of playing Halo or Unreal Tournament or Bond. My god, Bond were the highlight years of gaming for me. And they didn't have loot boxes and climbing to diamond. They didn't have all of that extra stuff. There were no rewards to give players as incentives to keep coming back and replaying. All we had were games on discs, and swap it to Channel 3. That's what we had. Things were simpler back then. It was about the gameplay itself. The gameplay was the reward. You weren't needing something to motivate you. You weren't having to push yourself as a player. You weren't having to outthink your opponent. You just kind of wanted to see things go boom and shoot some things and relieve some stress, whether or not you were depressed and upset with school or your mom was pissing you off. Whatever it was, video games were a thing that you used to do to relieve stress. If I'm being honest with myself, they cause quite a bit of it nowadays. I get so upset, I take things so serious, and I don't know if it's me, if I'm just getting old and cranky, or if the games kind of make us this way. And I would actually lean towards that because all of my friends do the same thing. They have the same exact behaviors. I see them getting pissed and upset at Destiny and PUBG and insert whatever shooter it is, Call of Duty. They're all extremely upset and frustrated. Not this game, though. This is the exact opposite effect on me. I could pop this in to relieve stress, to just have fun, and smack some heads off, man. Pop some droids, saber some dudes, jetpack around. It's just simple, casual fun. And if you guys can relate to anything I just said, you may want to consider looking into this game. If you're like, hey, that's me, I do get mad at every shooter I play. Yeah, points at this game. Right here, guys. So, yeah. This game is refreshing, and I put extreme value behind the fact that it's more of a benefit than it is a nuisance. That it's heavily enjoyable for reasons beyond than just trying to push yourself or scale skill. This is just something you could put on and not have to try to predict movements or thoughts and take serious. You can just kill things. And that's where the real value of this game comes out. Now, if we're talking about the gameplay itself, we're talking about the mechanics, the hit registration's on point, the visuals, the sounds, my god, the music, so crispy, so good, above average compared to the other competitors out there. This is a really well-developed shooter. I cannot say anything bad about it. I'd like to sit here and say, hey, actually, you know, think about it, this is bad. I don't like this. No, I've got nothing on that list. And don't consider me a fanboy, because I don't have any loyalty or nostalgic feels towards Star Wars. I've never been involved in the universe. I'm talking about the gameplay itself, how the game makes me feel. So, now I do have one general concern, or at least it's a reasonable one. And again, it's not with the game itself because it's incredible. I would recommend you guys to buy it. It is great. Across the board, check marks, bravo. Great game. Now, one thing I am a little worried about is the chance of this game having an established and long-serving player base. We've seen it recently with Titanfall 2. Really good game. Really freaking good game. But, sadly, its relevance just kind of shrunk. It died off. The same thing could happen to this game. I find it far less likely, and I'll explain why. Now, Star Wars has got a major backer. That backer is the fact that it's got a multi-million-dollar, 20, 30-year established history behind it. That's a lot of weight and already established loyalty for the people. My father, my parents enjoyed the originals. I was introduced to the series during the prequels, and nowadays, our kids, today's young generation, is being introduced into an entirely new set of characters. They're being brought into this universe that has been existing for years now, and has been impacting generations of people, friends, and family. This is a lot of loyalty and feelings and emotions they built up. They are very loyal people to this franchise, and this is great. Now, a bunch of new kids are learning about this. There's toys out there. The movie comes out a month after this game launches. Rey is awakening the Force in so many teenagers, if you know what I'm saying. Leia may have been your first. You know what I'm talking about. So, naturally, that is a big, big amount of support that will help potentially extend the life and bring in a lot of new fans to this franchise. And I feel like they're going to like these characters. They're going to try this game. Now, I'm not worried about this game selling. I have no issues with that. It's going to sell. I am worried about it dying. More importantly, not having a relevant fan base on PC. It's already a small crowd, and anyone that plays on PC knows it's a scary thought. There's a very good chance that it would pretty much die off in a good month or two. I don't think that's even going to come close to console, especially considering the fact that this comes out right before holiday season, the movie's launching. There will be lots of interest in this game, and as I said before, this is a great game. I would honestly rate this game an 8.5 out of 10. It is a really freaking good game, and as I said, nothing is more refreshing to me than to have a game that is just fun at its core. It's casual, it's simple, but in the best way possible. I mean that as a compliment, not an attack. That is a really good thing to be. Games back in the day were good because they were simple and easy, just things that you pick up a controller and play and blow a few minutes. It was so much easier then and more enjoyable because of that simplicity. Now, I do have one major issue, and it's not with the game itself. Yes, EA, Darth Pone Star's coming for that ass. So, what I'm about to tell you I consider unacceptable, and I'm going to explain why. Now, the game launches on all platforms on November 17th. For those that pre-order and buy the deluxe edition, which is $20 more than the standard edition, will be rewarded 3 days early playtime. Now, this is just wrong on so many levels. It's crazy for the industry to already push exclusive rights for those that pump in money and PlayStation get things early. We're talking about a universal launch. This is EA's doing. They are attacking their fan base. They are milking their fan base, trying to coerce us into paying extra money to get the game early. This is just wrong, in my honest opinion. It shouldn't be done. And it gets better. They're also selling power, which is something I am firmly against as a pre-order bonus or as an upgrade to a deluxe edition. This should not happen, as it punishes the other consumers that are buying the standard edition. So you are going to be given a bunch of good weapons with upgrades by just upgrading to the deluxe edition. So if you combine those two, you not only are given a lot of strong weapons that are going to be a big advantage over the guys that only pay $60, but you also get 3 days in advance to farm more items, better upgrades, to use against those guys that, fresh off the boat, are going to get destroyed simply because you have better equipment. That's a crazy advantage, and it shouldn't be happening. They're exploiting their fan base and punishing the consumer. This is just such a bad behavior overall. I don't like it one bit. So, I gotta eat a Snickers, guys. Hang on. I'm not me right now. Calm down. I'm so passionate, I can't stand when they take advantage of us. It's so wrong. It happens too much, and I'm tired of it. Back on track. The game's great, though, guys, in case you missed that part. Really good stuff. The hit registration's on point. The game runs smooth. The visuals, the music, the sound, everything is stimulating. Really, really good stuff with this title. They developed a monster of a game, and I'm really looking forward to the future of it. So yes, I'd recommend you to buy it. Which edition, that's up to you guys. So thanks for watching, subscribe, stay tuned, leave a like if you can, and I will catch you with another video soon. And of course, the full review when this thing does drop on the 14th of November. Catch you then, guys.